Hey guys, how you doing? I am really excited today. Today is my football day, my big football day, because it is the final game before the Super Bowl. And I guess as you can see from my previous videos, if you looked at any of them, that I am a huge San Francisco 49ers fan. As you can see right there, my banner back there on the wall. So I'm really excited today because I want to make some really great food today, and decided to go Mexican all the way around. I'm going to have grilled chicken, salsa, black beans, even some refried beans, and I even have some wheat corn tortillas. Got my chips, some gluten-free chips. I'm trying to keep a little bit of good, clean eating at the same time. And you know what's great about Mexican food is it's got to be one of the most healthiest foods that you can eat. I mean, it's just no matter which way you put it together. I can't speak for the restaurant style, but at home, there's so much freshness here. You got your salsa's got all the vegetables in it, and then you've got black beans, and you got guacamole that's made with avocados, good fats, and a lot of healthy eating. And that's one of the reasons why I like the Vitamix, because I bought this machine for healthy eating, and now that I can make foods and snacks and things like that to sit and watch TV with, especially my football game today, I couldn't probably do it without the Vitamix. At least, in my opinion, I couldn't do it without the Vitamix. I wanted to have a machine that I could make something healthy, but not necessarily where it tastes bad or it's not good. So that being said, today I'm going to be making a salsa to go with my food today for the whole part of the Mexican flair. Sorry, I'm just getting ahead of myself here. So what I did was I pre-chopped all the vegetables, which I'm going to show you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all into the Vitamix and just do a pulse. And then I'm going to add the extra ingredients at the end so you can get more of a chunky salsa. Okay? And I will tell you, now, not to put down anyone who owns a Blendtec blender, but this is where the Vitamix shines. Food prep. Bar none. And there's a couple of reasons why. The Vitamix the blades spin at a much slower rate than Blendtec when it comes to food prep. If you need to pulse, you just have very delicate ingredients. You don't want to create too much of a cream consistency or a liquid consistency. The Vitamix is very good for food prep. Having the tamper tool also helps to accelerate that process when you're doing food prep. It's so much quicker and easier. So let's show you how this is going to work. I'm going to go ahead and take the top off. Okay, and I'm also let me show you, first of all, before we get started, I'm going to show you the layout of the vegetables, of what I'm going to be putting into the Vitamix. Okay, so what I have here is the ingredients to make the salsa. Of course, I have lime over here. Okay, I have the cilantro. I have radishes. Now radish, I'm just going to put a little bit of radish just to give a little bit of, zing and spice to it. Want to have a little kick. It is Mexican food. And then I have the jalapeno peppers. I have my green onions right here. I have my red onion, okay? And then I also have some Roma tomatoes. Now these are Roma tomatoes are, to me, probably the better tomatoes to use for a salsa. And what I did is I cut them in half, and then I scraped out the seeds so it wouldn't have so much water, because tomatoes have a lot of water, and after adding lime and and all the vegetables get mixed and blended together, it can get a little soupy. So you want to make sure that your tomatoes are devoid of any of the seeds, because they have a lot of water in them. And using Roma tomatoes will definitely be a lot better. They don't have nearly as much water as other tomatoes, and preferably I recommend that you would get tomatoes that are a lot more firm and not too soft, because the more firm ones have less water in them, and that way you'll have a nice chunky salsa versus having something has the consistency of a gazpacho. Okay, and what I'm going to do is put mostly all the ingredients into the Vitamix and let them blend, and then I will at the end add some extra of these, add the rest of them into the blend so it can give more of a chunky consistency. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put them in. I have my Roma tomatoes here. I'm going to put in Let's see. This is about 6 Roma tomatoes. And remember, I took the seeds out, so it'll be less liquidy. And I'm going to keep a few left on the side handy. I don't know if you can see this too well here. I'm going to keep a few of them left so I can make it chunky at the end. Okay, maybe just 2 or 3. It really doesn't matter. Then I'm going to put in the green onions. You know, again, there's no recipe. If you're used to cooking, you know you don't really have to have it perfect, but it's all going to be trial and error when it comes to tasting. Again, I would just recommend leave a few vegetables at the end so you can chunk it up if necessary. Because there are times you make mistakes. You know, you overblend, it can happen. Okay, I'm not perfect, so I don't try to be. I'm putting in the green onions. I'm sorry, yeah, the red onion. Okay. And the jalapenos. These jalapenos aren't really that hot. And I also removed all the seeds off the jalapenos as well. So they're not extremely hot. Okay. The radish, I'll put probably the whole radish in there. Okay. I'm going to put the cilantro. Okay. And my lime. I like using this tool because limes are traditionally pretty dry, you know, so you can use this to squeeze the limes out, get all the juice you can get out of them. If we need more lime, we'll put more lime. But right now I'm going to try it with just 1 whole lime and see how that comes out. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overdo it because lime can be pretty strong tasting. Put a little bit of kosher salt into the mix. I would say maybe, I don't know, teaspoon. I'm just adding more salt. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put the Vitamix container lid back on. I'm going to use the tamper. Now this is where I was mentioning earlier about the Vitamix shines when it comes to food prep. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to start on variable speed 1. You have a pulse feature on here on variable speed 1. And I'm going to increase it just depending if I need to go any faster. Okay. Now the newer generation Vitamix, like this particular model, does have the pulse feature. The older models, I think the Vitamix 5200 does not have a pulse feature. Now, obviously all the years Vitamix has made that machine has been very successful, so obviously I guess people don't necessarily need a pulse button, but what happens for the people who do not have that, they have to turn the machine on, and then the on and off switch is up, on, down, off. It's kind of like just a toggle. It's not a toggle switch, I'm sorry, it's a lock switch. It locks on and locks off, and it can be kind of cumbersome to have to keep going up and down to simulate the pulse. That's why I like the Vitamix has the pulse feature. It's just a quick toggle switch. It makes it much easier, and that's another nice reason to have the newer model Vitamix. And that's why one of the things I liked about this machine as well. Okay, so I'm going to start on variable speed 1 and go to variable speed 4. If you're using a Vitamix 5200, they have a smaller blade. I'd probably recommend just, you know, you're going to have to try to use the variable speed accordingly, but I would start out on the slowest speed just to be sure so you don't overblend, okay? And again, one more time before I get started, I like that the manual control. The manual control as well as the presets on the Vitamix 750 make it so easy for you to choose the blend that's necessary. If you need to use presets, then that's perfect. On this account, manual control is better, okay? So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. There we go. See how fast that was? It would take so much longer if I had to manually cut them up. Sorry about that. I tell you, I'm so excited, guys, about this game today. I'm just getting ahead of myself, and this is nice because you can make this at the last minute. Now I'm going to just put in the last bit of everything else. Just throw it in. I'm going to add one more half of a lime, just to be on the safe side. I think that the extra vegetables might be just a little bit, not the whole thing. Okay. All right, just chunk it up right here. Turn it back to 1. Maybe don't want to over blend. All done. Okay. See how quick this is? If you got to make salsa at the last minute before the game starts, which I do, okay, then the Vitamix is your best friend. This is my best friend. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour all this good stuff out. Okay, look at that, beautiful. And it's not soupy. Came out very nice. Beautiful. Okay. If you're ever concerned about getting something out at the bottom of the blades down here, use our silicone rubber spatula like this one, and it can go right underneath the blades and get everything out very easily. So don't worry about that. Okay. Look how beautiful that salsa came out, you guys. Really, really nice. I mean, it's just so fresh and very simple and easy. And it has just enough liquid because of the limes on here. So let's give it a taste real quick. Got some gluten-free chips I got here. They're very low in sodium. I tasted them last night. Sometimes I get a little wary about gluten-free chips, but these actually taste really, really good, and they have a nice texture to them and good crispness. So let's try this out here. Okay. All right. Perfect. I wouldn't add anything. Oh, it's got a good kick. Got perfect amount of jalapenos. I used 2 kind of large size jalapenos and scraped all the seeds out, okay? I used 6 Roma tomatoes and scraped out all the seeds. And I used a half of a red onion, medium size. And then 1.5 limes, okay? And I think I used 3 stalks of green onion, and I used one whole radish. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And and about maybe I'd say a cup of cilantro, just to give, and again, just tailor it to the way you like it. But anyway, you guys, happy football day if you guys are really into this. I'm still looking for my Niners to go to the Super Bowl, so I got my fingers crossed. I got my red gear on. I'm all excited, and thanks so much for watching. You're all set. There you go.